What up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, we are approaching a very boring period of football because the transfer window is open now, and there'll be many. Okay, though the Euros is going on, I don't like international football because it's slow, and club football is fast, and there's a lot of action and everything. But the transfer window is open. Lots to talk about. First off, I'll start with Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea have bought a player from. They're trying to adopt this Real Madrid system where they find little gems in South America, and then they like just pay for them in advance, and then when they're like 18 years old, they can come join the first team. So Chelsea have done that with a kid called William Estavo. Paid 40 million and 25 in add-ons, adding up to like 65 million, which is first of all, I'll just say this. I didn't know anything about this kid. I had to go do my research, and for that I won't disrespect you guys by telling you I didn't know anything about this kid. um yeah, and I also wanted to bring something up. You remember when Man City faced Fluminense in the FIFA Club World Cup, and like Fluminense were just hitting the ball around at the back and like just making the Man City strikers work for the ball. And I was rewatching that game, and I was like, Brazilian football is like really interesting because if they made Man City do that, and they are not like world beaters. It's just they were just playing amazing. That's just a by the way. Um, what do Chelsea fans? What do you think about that signing? If you know the kid, personally, I thought Chelsea made a huge mistake by firing Pochettino. I don't really agree with that. I think Pochettino was on a run. I think Pochettino was the guy before the guy. If only you kept Pochettino and let him build, then after he's built his project, take him out, bring someone else. I think firing Pochettino was not the right choice, but I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I'm a Man United fan. You all will tell me. Yesterday, Germany obliterated, absolutely killed Scotland 5-1. And I have a really interesting stat. If you watched the game, okay, I didn't notice it watching the game, but in the first half, Tony Cruz, I think it's a world record broken because Tony Cruz had 100% pass accuracy in the first. Every pass he hit was accurate. He didn't misplace a single pass. I don't think any player in world history has done that. I think it's a new start just made by Tony Cruz, playing some of his best football towards his retirement. Um, yeah, really surprised me because Germany have not been on the best form of late, and them beating Scotland like just really put a stamp on it in that we are here. This is our tournament. We are at home, and we are going for it. Germany played amazing football. Like they made Scotland look. Literally, it was men against boys, because Scotland was shit. Scotland were terrible. Yeah. Brighton just appointed, not just, but during the week, Brighton appointed a new manager, Fabian Huzela. Don't really know who he is. Once again, I had to do my research on him. I don't really know, but Brighton have a knack of doing that because they find little gems. Look at what they did with Mitoma, Ferguson, Cucurella. Who else? Who else? This guy they sold to Chelsea for 100 million. What was his name? I forgot his name because he went to Chelsea and became a ghost. Nobody can see him. I mean, he's personally. What's his name? The guy from Ecuador. Have you ever gotten that feeling where you know the thing, you know what you're talking about, but then the thought is just coming and going at the same time. As in, I can remember him, but then, what's his name? I've forgotten, but I think I'll remember in due course. Um, Look at what they did with Bisuma. You know, just finding little gems with Dizabi as well. With I don't know if Fabian Hosella will be a success, but hey, Dizabi went to Olympic Marseille. And one thing I really hated about Dizabi, you remember when Dizabi was asked, I think they were beaten like 5-0 by a certain team. Certain mid-table team. And Dizabi was asked, what did you think about the loss? And Dizabi was like, I'd rather lose playing good football. Winning doesn't matter, it's the style of play that matters, and something towards that effect. And like, that really put me off as a Man United fan. I will not like Dizabi to be a Man United manager. Speaking of Man United managers, Ten Hag is saying, come on! Ten Hag is saying, yes, yes, yes. That felt like the cycle. Before the FA Cup final, they were talking to Tuchel and Pochettino, and there's a rumor that I heard, not even a rumor, because once Fabrizio Romano says it, it's not a rumor anymore. But our director of football wanted a puppet, a yes man. So Pochettino was fired from Chelsea because Pochettino is not a yes man. Pochettino didn't want to sell Gallagher and Reece James, but the management want to sell Conor Gallagher because he's homegrown. It's 100% profit. They can put it into the transfer budget and do something about it. But Pochettino didn't want that, and that he had to go. Dizabi is in talks with Olympic Marseille to be their new manager, so we'll see how it goes with that. Though I don't watch the French league, but Dizabi is a good manager. It's just that his philosophy doesn't align with mine. Man United agreed. First of all, Manchester United agreed personal terms with Gerard Branthwaite from Everton. But apparently, what I hear is that Everton are valuing Gerard Branthwaite at was it 70 million? But then Man United gave a bid, or David Ornstein said that Manchester United offered a bid of 35 million, and he doesn't think that Everton will accept the bid. But we are waiting to see. Gerard Branthwaite will be an amazing signing from Manchester United. He's left-footed. Okay, people say, I think he's left-footed, but there's a time in his career that he played at right centre back. So we will see how that works out. Personally, as a Man United fan, I would really like for us to sign a minimum of 2 centre backs, a midfielder, a winger, and 1 striker. That will be my perfect transfer window. Say if I were thinking about players, say we sign Michael Olise as the winger, Gerard Branthwaite and Todibo as defenders. Apparently, I've heard that we are interested in Matthias de Ligt, so let's wait to see on that. Matthias de Ligt is also a good centre back, but Todibo, Branthwaite. In the midfield, there's Ederson from Atalanta, who'll be like very expensive, and then there's the guy from the Portuguese midfielder who from Benfica, whose release clause is at 100 million. What's his name? Was it? It's not João Neves. Forgot the name as well. But the holding midfielder who plays for Benfica, for some weird reason I keep thinking about Ederson Alvarez, who's in Atalanta, who we also want, by the way. Ederson Alvarez is an amazing holding midfielder playing for Atalanta. Imagine their partnership, and imagine a midfield of Ederson Alvarez and Kobe Mainu, because Kobe Mainu is the truth, my guy. Kobe Mainu is the truth. We should build a midfield that is able to support Kobe Mainu to grow into his own. Not build a midfield around Kobe Mainu, but imagine a midfield of like an Ederson Alvarez, Kobe Mainu, and Bruno Fernandes. For me, that would be an amazing midfield. And we should get a holding midfielder. And personally, for Man United, this is just my opinion, but I think we should get a holding midfielder and sign Amrabat on a permanent deal. Then sell McTominay, or if McTominay stays, he stays as a bench option. Uh huh. But that will be nice. Sell, offload Casemiro and Eriksen, replace them with Ederson Alvarez and Amrabat. Makes perfect sense to me. Keep McTominay for the just in case. McTominay can always pop up with a goal, but then he was ghosting again in the Scotland game. But yeah, I don't mind McTominay as a bench option, and I don't mind Amrabat as a bench option. For strikers, there's Bear, there's Zaxi, Benjamin Sesko just signed a new contract, so he's off the table. Evan Toney, Ole Watkins, but then Aston Villa will want crazy money for Ole Watkins, so I don't think Ineos will be doing that. And I don't think Ineos will be signing Ivan Toney as well, because you look at Bear has a release clause for like 25 million. Zaxi has a release clause for like 35 million. Both way younger than Ivan Toney, but similar attributes. You can say Ivan Toney is Premier League proven, but then Zaxi and Bear are younger than Ivan Toney and could grow into their own. So I'd rather, because we need quantity and quality as well. There's no use signing people for like 100 million when they'll just come. Like, for example, Man United, this transfer window, I don't think we should be signing players for more than 50 million. And that's just my opinion. And if we sign a player for more than 50 million, say it should only be one player. Just one player. I don't think we should sign a defender for more than 50 mil. 40 mil, actually. I don't think we should sign a defender for more than 40 mil. So if Everton wants 70-80 million, they can jog off. I don't really care. There are so many center backs. There's Guehi, there's Todibo, there's Tapsoba. There are so many center backs in the market. So I don't think we should be signing a center back for more than 50. Yes, 50 million. That's it. And we should do that. On other news, Reiss Nelson has told Arsenal that he'll be assessing his transfer options. So does that mean he's going? I don't know. And speaking of which, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but I remember telling my uncle that while watching the FA Cup final, I remember saying that Kevin De Bruyne might leave Man City, because Kevin De Bruyne is a star. He's one of the best number 10s in the world. I don't think Kevin De Bruyne will be happy as a bench option, and I think you have Alvarez who can play at number 10. You have Phil Foden, who's really come into his own, you know, in that position. And now you have Kevin De Bruyne as well. Um, if I had to rank all of them talent-wise, I think Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, then Ederson Alvarez. Not Ederson Alvarez, Alvarez from Man City. But Phil Foden is young, like way younger. Kevin De Bruyne is getting older. Injuries are hampering his season. So I think Pep will look to offload him and use that money to bring in that's why I'm saying the guy from Benfica whose release clause is 100 million. I think he's Jao something. I don't remember his second name. His release clause is 100 million. I think he'll go to Man City because if you offload Kevin De Bruyne, then bring in this 18-year-old to come fill in for him, makes total sense. So I think Kevin De Bruyne will be going to Saudi. Yeah, that's all I had to say about Man City. And have you all seen Crystal Palace home jersey? I personally think it's amazing because the Eagles looks, as in the design itself. The team mascot for Crystal Palace is an eagle. So like the design that the eagles are on, like the stripes, it looks like flames. I mean, it's just amazing. The jersey is amazing. I will be getting it myself once they start selling them here in Kenya. In other news, Ineos have said they'll be giving 50 million to renovate Carrington. Carrington is Manchester United training center, which is a good thing. Yeah, I mean, the Glazers left Carrington and Old Trafford to rot. I mean, Old Trafford leaks when it's raining. When Cristiano Ronaldo came back, he said that the facilities that are there at the moment are the same facilities that he left when he was leaving to go play for Real Madrid. And right now, you need to renovate. You need to I think that's why Manchester United are getting more and more injuries and we're falling back because our training center has been let to rot. It's like, have you ever seen these people who repaint their houses and then call it renovating, or give their cars a paint job, but then the inside, the engine is still fucked up, it's not serviced for a while. Okay, on the outside it looks amazing, but then the engine is still fucked up. That's what the Glazers have been doing. They've been painting the outside, the walls and all that, just doing a paint job, but then the inside is not good enough. Yeah. And also I wanted to educate Kenyan fans because so many Kenyan fans know Fabrizio Romano alone as a credible journalist. That's credit to him. But then, if you want football news I can give you credible journalists. There's Ben Jacobs, Mark Ogden, Fabrizio Romano, of course, David Ornstein. Those are very credible journalists. So when a David Ornstein says something, take it into consideration because those are very, very, very credible journalists. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show. I'm still working on the video that I will explain to you how transfers in Kenya work. So yeah, I'll see you all on the next one and have a lovely weekend.